Have you ever felt invisible? Like you're just a background character in someone else's story? For a long time, that's how I felt. My name is Ryan, I'm 16, and for most of my life I've been living with a shadow. Not just any shadow, but one that seemed to have a mind of its own. It started small, a flicker in the corner of my eye, but soon it was everywhere. At first I didn't think much of it. Everyone has a shadow, right? But mine was different. It grew. Every time I scrolled through my phone, seeing everyone's perfect lives, the amazing vacations, the effortless friendships, the shadow would stretch, becoming darker, colder. It was like a physical weight, clinging to me. In the school hallway, when I'd see groups of friends laughing, my shadow would loom over me, whispering that I didn't belong. When a post of mine got only a few likes, the shadow would wrap around me, suffocating me with the feeling of not being good enough. It fed on my doubts, on my comparisons. It was the voice in my head made real. The more I tried to be like them, the people online, the people at school, the more I lost myself to it. The shadow was my constant companion, a testament to my own perceived inadequacy. I tried to run from it. I'd stay up late with the lights on, hoping to blast it away. I'd try to lose myself in crowds, thinking it might get confused and leave me alone. But it was always there, attached to me, a dark mirror, reflecting everything I thought was wrong with me. It even followed me into my dreams, turning them into endless corridors, where I was always chasing something I could never catch. My own reflection started to look strange, distorted by the darkness that was always just behind me. I felt trapped, not just by the shadow, but by the person I thought I was supposed to be. Life became a performance, and I was forgetting my lines. One afternoon, feeling more lost than ever, I was sitting in the art room after school. It was my one quiet place. The art teacher, Ms. Anya, noticed me staring at a blank canvas, my shadow stretching across the floor like a pool of ink. She didn't ask what was wrong. Instead, she just sat down beside me, her presence warm and steady. She looked at me, then at the shadow, and she smiled softly. She told me a story about a sculptor who was given a plain block of stone. Everyone else saw just a rock, but the sculptor saw a masterpiece trapped inside. He didn't try to make it look like other statues. He just chipped away at the parts that weren't the masterpiece. Then she looked right at me and said something that changed everything. Your value isn't defined by how others see you, Ryan. It's defined by the story you tell yourself. That shadow, it's just a story you've been telling. Maybe it's time to write a new one. Her words were like a key turning in a lock I didn't even know was there. She handed me a piece of charcoal. Don't fight it, she said. Talk to it. That night, in my room, I faced it. The shadow loomed larger than ever, a dark, featureless version of me. My heart was pounding. But instead of running, I remembered Ms. Anya's words. I took a deep breath. Okay, I whispered to it, my voice trembling. You're here because I feel like I'm not good enough. I thought about the time I helped a classmate who was struggling with a project, even though I was nervous to speak up. As I held onto that memory, a tiny flicker of light appeared within the shadow's chest. I was stunned. I kept going. I remembered the sketchbook hidden under my bed, filled with drawings that nobody had ever seen. I remembered the quiet satisfaction of finishing a difficult book. I remembered the kindness I showed to a stray cat. With each thought, each small, honest acknowledgement of who I was, not who I wasn't, the light grew. I talked about my fears, my awkwardness, but I also talked about my passions, the things that made me, me. I told the shadow that it was okay to be quiet. It was okay to not have 100 friends. It was okay to be a work in progress. And the most amazing thing happened. The shadow wasn't shrinking or disappearing. It was transforming. The darkness was receding, replaced by a soft, warm glow. It began to look less like a void and more like me, a brighter, more complete version of myself. The shadow wasn't an enemy to be defeated. It was a part of me that just needed to be seen, to be understood, to be loved. The next morning, I woke up, and for the first time in a long time, the room didn't feel heavy. The shadow was still there, but it wasn't dark anymore. It was a gentle, luminous outline, a reminder not of my flaws but of my potential. I walked out into a new day, not as someone trying to fit in, but as myself. The world looked different, brighter. I still see the amazing things people do online, but now it doesn't make me feel small. It just reminds me that everyone is on their own journey, writing their own story. My story is mine to write, and so is yours. You are not a copy of anyone. Your worth isn't measured in likes or followers or the opinions of others. It's measured in your kindness, your courage, your unique quirks, your passions. Your value grows every time you choose to see yourself with honesty and kindness. Don't let a shadow tell you who you are. Turn on the light. Tell yourself a better story, because you are worth it. You are enough right now exactly as you are. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to be kind to yourself today.